Golden wind. Everyone has a defined fate. You can't let that dictate what your life is going to be. You can't run your life saying that, hey, if I'm fated to be rich, I'll be rich. Since I'm not, I'm obviously fated to not be rich. You gotta completely take over.
No, because if you're fated to be rich, you're gonna be rich.
Absolutely.
And if you're fated not to be rich, you're not gonna be rich. Even if you take over and try to change it, fate goes, you're not gonna be rich, so I don't care what you're doing.
And who talks like that? Who goes, I'm fated to go to the store?
I'm fated to have these chips.
No, who talks like that? Nobody, fate? Nobody knows what fate is to come. So if you go, I'm fated to be rich, you sit down and wait to be rich. And it's gonna happen or it's not gonna happen. You don't know if it's gonna happen.
If you knew for a fact you were fated to be rich, it doesn't matter what you do.
You see your grandma's gonna die and she's like, I'm gonna write in my will, you get $2 million. You see that she's gonna write in the will and you see the will, you go, okay, now just wait for her to die.
What? Or you could change it by killing her. Dude, nobody knows their fate.
Nobody.
And the people in JoJo's that do know their fate, Zeppelin knew his fate,
and he went head first into
he
it.
went
and
fine.
That's why he's legit my third favorite character.
I know I'm supposed to die here, and I'm gonna die here
just for a chance to save this dude who I know will beat Dio. That's what he did.
Boingo's book always happened. That was his fate.
It happened twice. Jotoro's face was supposed to be split, and it happened with Kira, and it happened with the priest. It happened. It happened, and then time was reset. It didn't happen, and then fate went, it's gonna happen again, so Poochie did it.
What are we doing here? What?
Nobody's walking into this going, Narancia did not walk into this going, I know I'm fated to die in 4 weeks, in 4 days, but I'm still gonna do it. No, nobody knows fate except for Dia, but he doesn't because he can't change it because it's fated to happen. Oh, I'm dying.
Your own life. That is the most important message of JoJo's, retroactively looking at it past the Rolling Stones art. Whatever you are fated to do or however you are fated to end up, make it work out in the best possible way for you, for everyone around you, and for the future.
Pause.
No, if you're fated to end up that way, no matter how you work it out, you're fated to end up that way. If you're fated dead, then no matter how you work it out, you die.
Live your life like Dia was to the best of his ability.
Isn't that just what life is?
Yes.
Live your life until you die.
Until this fated thing happens. So you're just going, the theme of this part is life. Giorno! What? Fate cannot be changed.
No.
Point blank period, like you said. So just live your life in the best way that you can, like Dia.
Because you don't know what's going to happen.
But Dia's evil for some reason.
I don't understand it.
And why is there still 7 minutes in this video?
Oh, it's going to be a long-ass spiel of, oh, damn, my subscribers and Patreon and likes and
more jokes.
That is what everyone in Bruno's gang did, no matter what
except Fugo.
They were fated to do or where they were fated to end up. Giorno, who ended up...
Again, they didn't know about it, though.
No, they didn't. If Mista knew, that changed a lot. But nobody knows.
All they knew was, I want to do this. This is what I personally want to do. If Narancia went, I know I'm going to die. I can die with my friends trying to help them out, or I can die indulging in the last 4 days.
That's different.
But he didn't. He just went, Trish was treated like crap. I'm gonna help. If Abakio went, I know I'm gonna die.
That change, but they need this face.
So I'm gonna stand here. I know this is around the time I'm supposed to die. I'm gonna stand here. I'm gonna hide Moody Blue, and we're gonna get this working. I'm gonna die right here to help everybody else.
That's different. That's so much different.
But nobody knew anything.
So it's just characters performing actions. We don't need this theme of fate because it's unchangeable.
We do need the theme of fate because if it's characters just doing actions, then you have to look at the part as just something, as just a story. And once you start looking at it as just a story, you see how weak it is. So yeah, we need this fate. We need this life. We need all these themes. Otherwise, we start looking at the part as just a part of JoJo, and we go, wow, this is trash!
And that's why nobody talks about Man in the Mirror, because there was no theme of fate or anything like that. It was just a bad fight. So you can't fit
that's why nobody
anything.
That's why nobody talks about Beach Boy, because it's just a good fight. There's no theme of fate or anything.
Nothing.
It's just a good fight.
So when you talk about part 5, you talk about Geo, you talk about Dia, you hit the main points, and then you're done. You hit Rolling Stones as well because it's directly tied into fate. But I can look at B.I.G. and go, that was a good fight. Nothing to do with fate or anything. This character were doing these actions and trying to beat this villain. They did in a way that made sense and was good. That's all I need. I don't need to just go, how does this recontextualize the... Now I gotta go all the way back and go, okay, Beach Boys, fate, resolve. Where is this? Okay, no fate here. Okay, fine. Okay, Man in the Mirror, fate. Anything here? No. Littlefoot, any fate here? No. Soft Machine, fate? No, nothing. Dia versus Bruno. Yes, I'm seeing fate now. I'm going to write that down. I'll put that in my script. I ain't going to talk about Beach Boy. A legit top 3 fight. I ain't going to talk about it because there's no fate here. I'll talk about White Album. A lot of fate there. A lot of resolve there. Because they turn to the camera and go fate and resolve.
And also Giorno's there.
And Giorno's there. So I can write that down. Put that in my script. But not B.I.G. Because it doesn't fit. I can't just go, this is a good fight because contextually this, and this is good. This chick does not have an overpowered stand that can just do anything. She can make things soft, and that counteracts this kind of. Fantastic.
Where is the part 5 videos talking about the good characters?
Where?
The good story.
Here it is right here. It's always right on this man. This dude goes, Mista's my favorite character, and goes, because he put all this fate into action. That's his whole point. Not because he's a good, funny character, his fights are good, his design is good. No, because he ties back into the theme. And if that's what you're looking for, that's fine. But what if that's not for everybody? I don't care about fate and themes. When I look at Mista, I think Kraft's work. I think of White Album. Good stuff like that. I think of him berating his bullets going, y'all gotta work together. I think of him during Beach Boys. I understand that's just, you're just thinking of the fight. But what else is there? What else is there to his character? I remember one point where Trish was leaning forward and him and Fugo were looking at her boobs and they were like, oh, don't kill her. Don't tell the boss about that. That's good, funny stuff. But, I just thought of that. Good stuff there. But what do we have? You talked about 0% of that. And there's somebody who's not looking for fate and stuff like that. They're looking for stuff like that, something that you can remember. Not how does he fit into the narrative of these themes. He wasn't in B.I.G. really, so he doesn't fit into those themes. So I can't, nothing.
I hate part five.
I hate it
much.
so much, and I hate the people that like it because they're theme monsters, as opposed to JoJo is about good characters, good fights, good villains, good things.
If people that liked part 5 just went, I like the fights, I would have nothing to say you.
About it. You can like freaking Babyface, whatever. If that's to your taste, that's to your taste.
It's not to my taste, and I personally don't agree that it's a bunch of good fights, but that's just me, and that's just you. But you're going, I like it because of fate and all this crap. Then what are you talking? I don't. Oh, I hate part 5.
I hate it so much. The fights in part 5 range from some of the most amazing stuff to just some of the most bottom barrel stuff, and you got your mid tiers like Green Day and Oasis. It is very much like other parts, and not part 4 in particular, because that's just a roller coaster of amazing.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't hit part 4 on that one.
But nobody's talking about that. They're talking about how Gio's amazing because of fate and all these awesome things that he does, and he's part of Dio and he's part of Jonathan. Surprised he didn't bring that up, but I guess that really doesn't tie into fate or anything. But that's all they bring up. If you go, JoJo's, like you said, they have one of the best power systems in all of anime. I'm not a big fight man, but when you sit down and just go, this girl is going into this salon and she wants to change her life because she wants love, and this girl is going to change that. There's no exchange of punches and stuff. That's not necessarily a fight. It's an occurrence with a stand user, but it's still so amazing. So you don't even need fights. You just need stands interacting with each other. People have goals and they need to accomplish those things. That's what makes it great. If it's a fight, then that's good. Think of a way to do these things. How is this person going to beat this thing? You got Survivor. Survivor is a terrible stand, but it imbues people with the will to fight. So now these people are fighting. Good stuff. You know what it does. You know what it can lead to. Stuff like that. Fights. Enjoy your fights. Enjoy your characters.
Nobody does this theme crap for any other part. When you go, I don't like or I do like this part, nobody goes, well, the theme of resolve here, well, the theme of fate here, well, the theme of survival here, well, the theme of duality here. They just go, I don't like Jolene. I do like Jotaro. I don't like Fugo.
These fights weren't all that good.
These fights were amazing. I like this character. I don't like this character. This fight isn't good. That's what they go. But the second you get to part 5, people want to talk about fate and themes, and that's all you can talk about.
Even though it has such amazing 2 or 3 amazing fights, but they go instantly to fate and themes and resolve, and completely ignoring all that other stuff, the stuff that does not fit into the narrative of theme and fate and resolve.
Giorno, who ended up as a quasi-leader, making most of the important decisions, even though it was through Bruno.
No, he was a leader, because Mista turned to him and go, you're an even better leader than... I trust you just as much as I trust Bruno. Crap like that.
How dare.
Naracha going, as he's singing now, just going, Gio, good job. These people, Gio looks at him and goes, something's wrong with you. This person that I've known for 3 days. When people you've known for maybe years, they look at you and go, nothing's wrong. Oh, he's over there. Let's shoot over there. When Gio can just go, something's wrong with you, person I don't know.
That's what he was all about. He was unwavering. He was not trying to change fate. No, he was trying to make the most out of his fate.
What? If his fate was that he was going to beat Diavolo, how did he make the most out of it? If his fate was that he was going to be the boss, how did he make the most out of it? Because if his fate is just that he's going to be the boss, he can sit at home for 30 years until Diavolo dies of a heart attack, and then they just go, oh, I guess Gio's the boss.
So he's not making the most out of it. He's pushing it forward. He's just implanting these things upon him. And you have to when you're looking at it as fate. You can look at it and go, that was a funny moment. That was a good fight. I don't need to recontextualize or think about anything. I understand it's all big fight monster, big fight show, but what can you get out of Kraftwerk versus Mista? It's a good fight. I don't need to recontextualize anything in that fight. I can go, that's a good fight because of these reasons. Strong stand, good fight. But you gotta go, all this stuff with fate and stuff in order for this to just...
In order for it to be good.
The most out of something that cannot be changed for the future. As a bit of a metaphor to what I'm saying, look at your own past. Everyone's past at this point is unchangeable. I can't change anything that happened before right now anymore. The decision I made 5 minutes ago was made, and there is no going back. The question is, where do I take that decision that I made 5 minutes ago to bring me to where I will be in 5 minutes? And this is more than just quick 5-minute decision makings. Literally everything behind me right now, everything that is set in stone. How am I going to make the absolute most of it to be the best for me personally, for those around me, and for the overall future?
You play the cards you were dealt. That's basically what you're saying. But that has nothing to do with fate. That's your past. You're changing your future for the better. But if you were fated to change your future for the better, it doesn't matter what you resolved to do from your past 5 minutes ago, because you were fated to do the thing you're about to do.
And why, and like you said, why is part 5 heralded like this when all of them are just moving forward with their fate? And
every part before and after is the exact same as part 5, except people don't turn to the camera and say the themes. Both Oceanus and Nux has said that the theme of fate is inherent throughout all of JoJo's. So why is it so prevalent in this one? Because there's nothing else to grasp onto. The JoJo is one of the worst JoJo's.
No one understands fate in animes. JoJo's part 5. Why not other parts? You go straight to part 5.
And you haven't presented a way that we could understand fate because
it's unchangeable.
So you're going, your past is set in stone, but you can work towards a better fated future. No, your future is fated. If you go into the coffee shop 5 minutes ago, and in 5 minutes you're supposed to get hit by a car, you can give all your money to a homeless person, but you're still getting hit by that car. You didn't work towards a better fated future for yourself. You were fated to get hit by a car. That's all fate is. In the future, your past is set in stone, your future is set in stone. Regardless of what you do. That's what fate is. So working towards a better one makes no sense when it's already set. There's nothing to work towards. What are y'all talking? I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it.
Imagine feeling this.
Do not shut up.
No, I had no one to talk to about this.
What are y'all talking? Bruh, you were at least going, it's just bad. Blah. You didn't have analysis videos going, this is amazing.
Yes,
because
I did. Dude, they're out there. Again, like Reddit. This is all just Reddit talk. This was all out there. And I can go, this is bad because the fights and characters are bad. But then I would have to start talking about fate and all this resolve stuff in order to get to why it was really bad. And nobody wants to hear about that. So it's a lot easier to just go fight bad, JoJo bad. Instead of just going, here's all this fate stuff that's being dumped upon us. Here's all this fate stuff that people just constantly regurgitate. That people just constantly
That's
glom
all
onto.
it is.
Yes.
A regurgitation. Y'all are just repeating the same crap over and over.
Rolling Stone goes fate, and they go, oh, fate. Oh, but it's in all of JoJo's part. But this one is fate everywhere. So fate, part 5, fate.
I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired.
I say that as a takeaway message because we don't know what we are fated to do, if fate even exists.
So
-10.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be another one.
-10.
So, if nobody knows what their fate is, what they're working towards a better version of
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter, because that's what you were fated to do. So you're not working towards a better fated future. You're working towards your fated future.
You're just on a path, and you're going down that path. There is no forks in the road. As you're walking down that path, what is behind you is being disintegrated. There's only forward, because there's one path, and that's the path of fate.
If it exists.
If it even exists. There's nothing we can do to change it if it exists. There are no forks in the road. There is no left or right. There is only forward and stopping.
Oh my God.
Can't even press play. This is over.
Message, because we don't know what we are fated to do, if fate even exists. But the answer to such a silly conundrum like that is, it does not matter if fate exists or not. In part 5 of JoJo's, you can view the entire story through the eyes of having the ability to change your fate, i.e. fate not being set in stone.
No, you can't, because Rolling Stones made it so that you see that you can't change fate.
But also, he's going to say that you can look at it in another way. So now we've got two different interpretations of the same story. So nobody's right and everybody's right, because there is no one point.
Or through the eyes of fate being completely unchangeable, i.e. set in stone. And even though I can argue the entire theme of the series is changed completely by looking at it from either of these two perspectives, they are far more similar than you realize. Whether Giorno changed fate to beat the boss because he believed in what's right and fought for the future, or
fate in JoJo's cannot be changed.
Done. We've seen this with Rolling Stones, the fortune tellers, Boingo,
Kira's reset day. We have never seen somebody changing fate to where it's like, this is the exact fate and this person just changed it. We have never seen the fortune teller tell a Zeppeli, you're supposed to die here, and then the JoJo dies and the Zeppeli lives on. That's never happened that way. So there's no way to look at the story as changing fate, because we've never seen it before nor since. And even in this part, there's no evidence that they changed fate.
No evidence at all. So that's the biggest thing. Fate is just this nebulous thing. We don't know. If there was an alternate universe that we can point to and just go, here's the Rocky doing part 5 again and everything changed. Okay, then we can go, okay, maybe it wasn't a fate. But if it happens, then it was fated to happen. So there's nothing that can be done to be changing it.
Whether he knew that fate was unchangeable, so he's gonna make the most of this unchangeable fate.
That makes no sense.
It makes zero sense.
Because
you live your life. You're making the most of your unchangeable fate like Dia, but he's doing it wrong and he's the bad guy. Again.
If fate is unchangeable, Giorno going, I'm gonna become the boss and stop the drugs. If he changed the fate, he changed the fate of Italy, so he wouldn't know it's unchangeable. He wouldn't struggle against it. We can't do anything against Dia. We can't do anything against the boss. We can't do anything to change Italy. So why try? We did? Then it wasn't unchangeable. Except it is unchangeable. He was fated to do this stuff. Stop with the fate!
This would make a lot more sense if there was just like a scrap of paper that just says, Italy will be changed in 3 days. And then, okay, it will be changed in 3 days somehow. And Giorno just sits on his butt and then the piece of paper just disappears. And fate was changed because he was supposed to change it. That would lend more credence to fate being changeable or unchangeable. But we've got nothing. We've got no evidence. It's just this thing.
It's just what you people want to believe.
By becoming himself and fighting for the future, it is essentially the same thing from a different perspective. And looking at Diavolo, he is a guy who had to cheat to change fate. And because of
He didn't
He
cheat.
was
He
just
used his
given
stand.
his stand. He just did it. You could say the same for Gio in that aspect then. He cheated to beat Diavolo.
He's not modifying his stand or anything. He's using his stand to the best of his ability. That's not cheating. He has this ability. It's not like he has the ability to absorb stands and he goes, okay, I can skip time, but I can't see what's going to happen. Oh, let me steal this future seeing ability. That would be cheating. But he was given this thing and he's using it, and that's somehow cheating and wrong and bad. When this dude can defy God and create life.
that, he ended up completely destroying himself. Whereas if you'd say fate is not changeable, then he's a guy who does not want to sit down and commit to the fate he's given. He's constantly finding loopholes and ways to dodge inevitability. And the little thing that he eventually learned about inevitability is that it is inevitable.
So, was he supposed to be hit by that car? Was he supposed to go into that surgery? Were these things supposed to happen and it inevitably happened because of Gold Experience Requiem? That makes sense if you go back in time and go, oh, Bruno was supposed to hit you here so you get hit. But it's just a bunch of deaths. There's one in a jail scene.
It's one like homeless people stabbing them.
It's just a bunch of random deaths. So no, that doesn't make sense. Your first one didn't make sense. Your second one didn't make sense. So you can't see it these ways.
And you're just going, fate is changeable and thus this, or fate is unchangeable and thus this.
You're basically going, make the story in your mind, people.
Make what you want of this story.
And you're right.
And there's no way you can be wrong because fate probably doesn't even exist. Like you said.
Did not try to make the most out of the fate he was given. He did not try to excel in what was forced.
Yes, he did. He's the boss of a huge organization that runs Italy. How did he do that? Through his brains, through his courage, through his smarts? We don't know. What we do know of him is that he's driven and he has a nigh unbeatable stand. That's what we know about him. So he did make the most of his abilities.
Upon him for the future, he tried to circumvent all of it. So if you were to ask me if my takeaway from JoJo's Part 5 is if fate exists or if it does not, the answer to that question, I think, is fairly obvious. I think Golden Wind is telling you that it doesn't matter. Make the most of yourself,
No, it doesn't matter. Does it exist? Does it not exist? Here's my answer. It doesn't matter.
Oh my God.
Are you serious?
Oh my
No
God.
one understands fate in anime. It doesn't matter. That's your point? That's the thesis of your video? Does fate exist in JoJo Part 5? It does, it doesn't, it doesn't matter.
Make it what you want. Except it does. Rolling Stone fated these people to die.
And they did!
Mista wasn't fated to die, and he didn't. It does.
Dude, don't sit here and give me a 30-minute video and goes, it doesn't matter. Don't tell me no one understands fate. And you go, it doesn't matter. Here's all the points for it. Here's all the points against it. Doesn't matter. Are you serious?
the best of yourself. Be the best that you can be to grow to the next level. Don't get by cheats and loopholes. Become someone you are proud of. Be a golden experience for the people around you, and whatever.
What's that got to do with fate? Whether you're a good or bad person, you were fated to be that way if fate exists. What does you being a better person have to do with fate?
Whatever is inevitable, make the most of it for the future. Giorno's dad.
You can't make
the most of it in the future. How did Nanacha make the most of it in the future? He didn't. He didn't know he was fated to die. He just went along with his mission. That's what everybody does. Everybody's just living their life. Like Diavolo. He's living his life in the exact way that you're saying. But he's punished because fate doesn't matter. Even though he's changing fate. Even though they're changing fate. But they're not changing fate. Because Rolling Stone said it was supposed to happen. So it did happen. So it doesn't matter. So it does, it doesn't, and it doesn't matter. That's JoJo Part 5. How are we supposed to get anything out of that? Go to Egypt and save my mama. Understandable. There's these people blocking me from saving my mama. Done. But here you got fate matters. Fate doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Fate is changeable, not changeable. Doesn't matter if it's changeable or unchangeable. It's going to happen or it's not going to happen.
You just work towards a better fated one. You just do the best you can and live your life. And fate or not fate will reward you or punish you or do nothing because it doesn't exist.
The answer is all three. Yes, no, and I don't know. Who cares? So this is nothing. So you can make whatever you want from this, and you're always right and you're always wrong, and it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. Because it may not exist.
Like and subscribe.
Dio has
this is the point of my video.
Every single time he punches, and that is which essentially means useless, 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 as he fights his opponent, and that's all lovely and shiz. Now, this is to contrast the which is a slangy gang term for you wanna fight, but Dio isn't as straightforward as Jotaro. When Jotaro yells Ora, it's as a respect to his opponent that he will completely accept the fact that he himself may lose. He is not utter-
What? What the is what? What? Dude, this is the most implanting bullshit I've ever seen. What do you... It's a respect to his opponent that he may lose?
When he does order, that's the end of the fight. And isn't order a way to pump yourself up in Japanese?
I've never heard it's I'm gonna fight sort of thing. It's just sort of like a hi-ya sort of thing. How is that when he was fighting, when he was going, I'm gonna give you your receipt for what was it? I forget if it's Yellow Temperance or it was one of those with the bug in Joseph's mind. How is that I'm going to lose to you when there's no way that I'm going to lose to you and I'm saying aura? That's not what that was. It was him. It's just a battle cry. It's like when tennis players are hitting the tennis ball and they yell something out, because while yelling something out, it's been some scientific studies. It's like yelling something out, your mind goes into another place and it allows you to use more of your muscles.
It pumps you up.
So that's what that is, and you're just implanting
Order
this
is pumping you up.
opponent that he will.
How Paul? How are you supposed to refute that?
How do you argue against something like that? You looking up order?
Yes. Aura is a slang termed in Japanese. In contrast, you say profanities, but in the normal stories in Japanese, a Japanese. Let me look into this, because this is just got a bunch of dots and.
Yeah, as far as I know, aura is just a way to pump yourself up, like going yeah.
The word in Japanese is a variation, actually, of several meanings in Japanese. I already had a couple answers in the comments discussing the numerous nuances of the words we use. Let me see if I can shine a bit more light into it and give more context. Aura is a slang termed in the Japanese. Yankee are a Japanese group, kind of resembling punks or geezers. They have a very distinct style and demeanor. Let me just skip it. So basically, if you say aura in a regular voice, it means look. If you say aura in a loud, growly voice, it means what them's fighting words, as they say. So it's just going them's fighting words. I'm gonna fight you, not I'm gonna fight you with the
Respect.
This is just implanting this to give it more relevance when it's just a dude going aura.
Completely accept the fact that he himself may lose. He is not utterly superior than everyone else, but he's gonna do his best to win regardless. Dio's Muda useless line is to contrast that, saying that all that challenge Dio's reign are useless. All attempts to defeat me are futile. Dio yelling useless comes entirely from a pride standpoint, and that only informs.
Pause. Gio says useless.
Yes, he does.
What does that say about him? Oh, he's part of Dio. And he's also part of Jonathan. But that Dio part wins over Jonathan for some reason in this instance. But in every other instance, it's Jonathan.
Versus the lovable dick face asshole that Dio is, I still love him anyway. But Giorno, who does inherit certain traits from Dio, his pap, does have many things very different. One of those being, Giorno is exceedingly respectful. He harbors so much respect for people that he looks up to, be it Bruno, be it other people that he cares for, or be it the elderly, because he has a great relationship with everyone in his town, as shown in the beginning, since he goes out of his...
Pause. But he scams Koichi. But he scams multiple people. But in the anime only scene, he's shown stealing a lady's money.
His way to help other people. So why does he yell? Originally, at first viewing, I thought it was just a great callback to say,
Oh my God, you're gonna go into the themes of why he says Muda.
You betcha.
You are. This is unbelievable.
You betcha.
At first viewing, I thought it was, but when I dug a little deeper,
absolutely.
This isn't like Five Nights at Freddy's where there's newspaper clippings on the wall and it's just like, oh, on first playthrough it's just this weird game, but there's actually an underlying story that you guys should be checking out. No, this is just him going Muda, and now you're gonna implant some bullshit to go, that's why this is amazing.
Hey, like Dio, like Giorno. Oh my God. But after the Rolling Stones arc, when he yells Muda with a
No.
Because
he doesn't know. He has no knowledge of this. He doesn't know fate is changeable or unchangeable, or it doesn't matter. No.
He's not about to say this. You know what? Let's play it, because this is not the direction he's going with what he's about to say in his next couple words. No, there's no issue here. Don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah, we're safe.
Yeah,
oh no! Oh my God! But after the Rolling Stones arc, when he yells Muda with a solemn and almost somber look in his eyes as he defeats his opponents, he's telling them the fact that fate is inevitable. It cannot change, and you did not make the most of what you could have. Dio yells,
Oh.
No, it's not. Because when he did that against Leaky Eye Luca, he said, don't hit the frog. And he hit the frog. And he's like, I told you to hit the frog. That was useless. And he walks away. Luca was already dead. He was doing that for himself. And he was doing that for us, the audience. Just for us to go, like you said, oh, Dio, Gio, here it is.
This doesn't make sense. And the reason it doesn't make sense is you said that you can interpret the way Gio interprets things two different ways. But you can't if he's going useless because it's useless to change fate. So that other interpretation doesn't count if you're going, he's saying useless because you didn't make the most of that unchangeable future. Does Gio believe future can be changed, fate can be changed or not? You can interpret it any way. It doesn't matter. But it does if you look into the Muda part of it, and it's like, it can't be changed. That's why it's useless for you. So you contradicted that part of your video with this part of your video.
it's useless to face himself, whereas Giorno says it's useless to combat your inevitable fate. In all, JoJo's Part 5 is not my favorite part in all of JoJo's. I prefer the psychological aspect to Part 4 all in all, but that said, JoJo's Part 5...
I never thought about the psychological aspects of Part 4.
not.
It's just good.
Is the most powerful thematically, at least for me, of all.
The most powerful thematically. And the theme is fate, and it doesn't matter. These are the things in this video. So the most powerful part, the theme doesn't matter.
This is the most powerful part. Can fate be changed? Can it? How does Geo see fate?
He can, he can't, and it doesn't matter.
Powerful.
This is the best script you've ever written. It don't matter. Underline 3 times, exclamation mark. Perfect.
Subscribe.
All of JoJo's thus far. I feel like the ending to JoJo's Part 5 way outclasses all of its predecessors, and I think I'm the only person that actually loves Rolling Stones as much as I do. It gives me an entirely different...
Pause. No. I hate when people do that and just go,
Am I the only one
Am I the only one is one of the worst sayings in any... I hate it so... In any time I see that. Because yes, you're the only person in this world that likes Rolling Stones. Part 5 is beloved. Are you telling me that nobody likes Rolling Stones like you? I'm the only you being in the JoJo fandom for any amount of time, you would see the love for that. Because people like you go, it recontextualizes everything, and they turn to the camera and go, fate. So I don't have to think.
I'm legit.
I'm the only person who likes Rolling. Are you serious?
I'm legit mad.
100 million copies sold of JoJo. Are you telling me that no one in the world likes this part other than you?
Glance at the entire series. How Mista is all luck-based, trusting in luck so much, but in essence, luck and fate are the same thing. Luck is just looking at it in the future, whereas fate is looking at the inevitable past. If someone will be unlucky, they will die, but that's because they were fated to die. Fate and luck have a lot in common, just depending on the perspective that we're looking at, and that made Mista the perfect character.
You're not lucky if fate exists. You just weren't fated to do the thing or not do the thing that you did. If somebody's shooting 1,000 bullets and you're fated to jump up and get shot, you get shot. If you're not fated to jump up and not get shot, then you weren't lucky. You just weren't fated to die in that hell of 1,000 bullets.
He mentioned all that stuff about luck and fate and all that garbage. He did not mention a single personality trait about Guido Mista. And he's the perfect something. But even I don't even know what you're going to say. The fact that you're going, he's the perfect something, and you didn't mention any of his fights, his mannerisms, his stand, his personality, nothing. You just went in context of fate and resolve and theme.
They were fated to die. Fate and luck have a lot in common, just depending on the perspective that we're looking at, and that made Mista the perfect character to introduce us to Rolling Stones, as well as the perfect character to be best boy. Giorno himself, well, I like him less than both Joseph and Jotaro as far as a character. However, neither of the two hit me so hard as far as what they represent. Giorno is more of an ideal than he is a character.
Oh my god.
Are we going with this Batman bullshit?
Goodness, dude.
It's not about the character. It's about the ideal he represents. But what about the character?
But what about the character?
It doesn't matter.
What about episode 8 when we're not deep into themes and ideas and things like that? And he's just a character and not an idea. What about that? Where we're just going, what is this dude? He's boring. And then you go fate and theme and resolve, and okay, so he's not a character. He's an idea.
And to circle back to what I was saying in the beginning, that a lot of people complained that Giorno did not get character development. This is exactly why. Giorno is not supposed to be treated as a character as much as he is supposed to be treated as an ideal.
Are you serious?
Okay.
He's a terrible character because he's not meant to be a character.
He's not meant to be a character. He's just a walking theme.
He's just walking plot. Why is this good?
You need a new eye. Here you go. I'm not a character. I'm just an ability and a theme.
Hold on. We're about to go fight. Hold on. Why are some of y'all getting pruny quicker? Oh, no. Okay. I got you, Gio. I got you. Narancia, you seem to be lying. Yeah, Gio will figure this out.
He's not a character. He's an idea. What if you don't like that idea? Then this non-character means
then you're a
nothing to
hater.
you. What if you don't agree with the idea? What if you see the
Then you're a
idea
hater.
in a different way?
Then you're dumb. You don't understand it.
Why is he the only one that is allowed to be an idea and not a character?
Because we have to figure out a way that he's good.
This is the worst. I would never describe anybody that I have a passing fancy for as an idea and not a character. You're going, he is a walking theme and ability. Everything that he says, everything that he does, doesn't matter. Because he's just an idea. He's just a rock for everybody to lean on. He's just a series of abilities that will beat people. As opposed to Narancia, who has a history, who has a past, who has a favorite food, who has a goal past this whole gang stuff. He's not an idea. He's a character. But Gio is allowed to be not a character, and that's good because he's an idea.
Is what he represents in the story far more than someone who is going to be weathered by this journey. After all, he holds a duty. As a survivor, he holds a duty to make the most of the fated death of his friends.
What about Mishta? What about Trish? Trish just became a pop star.
Terrible.
Just like they in turn held a duty to make their inevitable fate cause only good in the future.
Is fate real or no? Does it matter or no?
Or no or yeah.
And they didn't know their fate. They just struggled against the boss. They saw what the present brought and they went, let's change it for the future. Not the fated future, just our future. Let's make Italy better. No, nothing about fate. Nothing about resolve. Let's just make Italy better. What are we doing here?
Nothing. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
All of your entire theses, all of your Reddit posts, videos, doesn't matter. Fate doesn't matter in JoJo Part 5. Or it does, or it doesn't. Or it doesn't
It's whatever
matter.
you want.
It's whatever you want.
And that's why it's good. You interpret it the way that you want, and that's why it's good. I interpret that it's trash.
No, you're not allowed to.
So whether we do or do not have a preordained fate that cannot be changed, make the most of who you are and always look for.
There's no point. There's no point in making it. There's no point in struggling to make it better if you're fated to be that way.
Make the most of it like Dia.
You can't make the most of anything. If I get a quarter, I can't make the most of my day until I get that quarter.
I can't spend money I don't have. Can't drive a car I ain't got.
Forward. This is why JoJo's Part 5 was a golden W. Please leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for future anime analysis or satire content. Links are in the description to my Twitter and Patreon, so feel free to follow me there and pledge there. It takes quite a bit of time to make videos like these, and unfortunately, most of my videos get demonetized these days, so that would be super helpful and very appreciated. We're all weird in our own way, and you gotta make the most of who you are and what you are fated to do. So remember, just
most of
stay
editing.
weird, fam.
-10.
-10.
I did. Why are there so many -10 videos? I didn't want this. I wanted I wanted the brilliance of Golden Wind to just be, oh, we're just gonna aspire to get to that point one day. Oh, this is a 9.5, but it's not there yet. Oh, it's getting there. Oh yeah, this is all 9.9. It's all. I wanted that so bad. Just to have that. Just episode 1, -10, 0 video. It's always there. But there's just so much out there.
I didn't think GT was going to be a -10.
No, absolutely not. I was thinking going into that 5 or 6.
No, I was thinking 8 because I remember some stuff from there. I was thinking of 8. I didn't realize how bad it actually was. -10.
I hate that there are so many -10s. This is a horrible video. Don't make an entire video just like the brilliance of Golden Wind going fate, 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 fate. And then he goes, oh, but fate is unchangeable. This dude goes fate, 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 fate. But fate is unchangeable, but it doesn't matter. He hit all 3 points with a bad video, with bad jokes, with a not great voice, with bad editing.
I have no wrap up here. I'm legitimately just mad.
I'm just dried out. I'm like a mummy over here. It's just, I got nothing.
Nothing.
This was a really bad video. He made some really bad points.
Other videos didn't drain us. This was draining.
And it says something that this is a 30-minute video and this is 3 hours. And what was Golden Wind?
It was 340.
And that was an hour plus. Not an hour, that's like 45 minutes more. And we're getting more out of this with the intro. And yeah, this was a really bad video. And to say that no one understands fate in anime and then just go, it doesn't matter, is egregious.
Yeah, that title alone, like, you didn't help anybody understand.
You're not teaching anything. Nobody grows from this. Because if you go, fate does matter, he goes, it doesn't matter. You go, oh, well, I still say it does. You go, fate doesn't matter. You go, and he goes, no, it doesn't matter if it does not. You go, well, I'm still going to choose to believe that it doesn't. And if you don't care like us, then we just watch the video of fluff where you're going, fate matters, and then it's recontextualized that the fate doesn't. Fate is unchangeable, and then it just doesn't matter altogether. Just live your life in the best way. But Dia somehow did it wrong.
Were people, the first time they watched or read Part 5, were they thinking about fate?
They couldn't have been.
They had to have been. Because if you didn't, when you're looking through it, you're going, oh, changing fate. And then Rolling Stones recontextualize it to where you can't change fate. So there's nothing to recontextualize if you have no context.
Yeah. But I think that up until that point, they were just like, fate. We're going to change fate. Because they turned to the camera and said that. So they're going, fate is changeable. They're going to change fate.
Araki is beating it in your head instantly and immediately and constantly.
And then it's just like, oh, fate is unchangeable. And then you just walk away going, oh, I guess it doesn't matter. That's the only thing that you can walk away with it. This whole journey didn't matter. Them crying over Nanachi didn't matter because it was just supposed to happen. Bruno going, I'll be the one to take in Trish when Gio went, I'll do it. He goes, no, I'll do it. He was supposed to do that because he was supposed to die. So it doesn't matter. Bravery, trust, honesty, cowardice doesn't matter. It's all fate. So at the end, you just go, oh, Bruno was supposed to die and then he just did. And then all of this happened just because it was supposed to happen. And then you close the book and you just go, oh, how do you feel after that? Yeah. How can you go, yeah? What do you feel after going, this was just supposed to happen?
After going on this journey with these people.
These 3 people, nothing mattered. They didn't die. If they died in a heroic sacrifice, that wouldn't have mattered. If they died cowardice, that doesn't matter. If they died in an ambush, doesn't matter. They were just supposed to die.
Don't know if it's weeks. Don't know if it's months. Sleeping slaves, death.
That's all that matters. And how can you go after all that when Dia just changes fate all that time, and he's going, I'm changing fate, ha ha ha. Fate is with me. Fate is my ally. And then he gets proven wrong. And then it's just like, well, fate is literally unchangeable. How are you supposed to feel about that? I wish I could go into the minds of people that just read or watched that for the first time with the mindset of fate. Because Chris was just like, bad story, bad, and we just talked it out. Yeah. We never went fate resolve. We just went bad story, bad Geo. But somebody looking at it as fate is unchangeable. Fate, looking at it with the themes of fate. Yeah. And then for the end to just go, fate is unchangeable. How do you feel with that? When you had to implant fate into everything about this story, when the main villain is going fate, and then just going, fate, whatever. How do you feel? And how can you walk away with that with a positive experience, just going, these 100+ chapters were telling me fate. And then these 5 chapters just went, fate is unchangeable and fate doesn't matter. How do you feel about that? That feels like a wasted journey. Or that just feels like...
I feel like it's the best part.
Or it just feels like this is a story with a sequence of events that just happened and you don't need to implant fate into it. Because it actively makes it worse.
-10.
-10.
Legit don't know what we're doing next.
Yeah.
We
this isn't even like a...
We definitely can't go into another part 5.
No,
we can't go
not.
into...
Of course not.
Ocean.
I think we should do a part 5 every 5 episodes.
Bruh, that makes so much sense. Yeah.
Maybe a movie or something. We got a bunch of options.
We got some
Batman stuff. We got some freaking Justice League.
I'm so drained.
I remember seeing a video. I think I wrote it down as like nobody understands Zack Snyder or something like that. Or
that would be beautiful. Oh, we're in there for that one.
Let me look up my list because we're just vamping at this point. People have clicked off. They left their dislike and peaced out.
They did that minute 4. Come on now. So yeah.
Why I love Batman versus Superman, or how I stopped hating Zack Snyder.
Yeah, okay, that might be the next one.
And it's a 52-minute video.
Yeah, that's definitely the next one. So, look forward to that on the next time. For now, I don't know.
Dude.
I don't know.
Just stop. Just chill out.
Just chill out.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Live your life.
Live your life. Unless you're Dia. Don't.
Because then you're going to get punished forever.
You're doing it wrong.
How can you be doing it wrong if it doesn't matter?
There is no right or wrong. It just doesn't matter. Live your life. Unless you're Dia.